Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. We are now just a few days away from the official release of Marvel Spider-Man 2. However, it has already been an incredibly exciting week, as on Monday, official publications such as IGN and Game Informer were able to post their official reviews of Marvel Spider-Man 2, and alongside it came some brand new gameplay, some images, so much exciting new stuff. And today we are going to break down some of the stuff that we consider to be the most exciting reveals, including some brand new open world traversal gameplay and our first official look at Mysterio in all of his glory. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that, just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It'll notify you every single time that Andreas and I upload. Now with that out of the way, Andreas, you ready to jump into all of this brand new content that we got?
Oh yeah, let's do this, guys. Now, before we dig into today's discussion, I just want to be completely respectful of everybody's spoiler preferences for this game. That said, first of all, guys, no leaks in the comments down below. It's really shitty for everybody else, and it's generally not cool, so just keep it in your head and don't write it in the comments. That would be great. And also, we are going to be talking about the new look for Mysterio in this game, and we're going to be showing it later on in the video. We will give a verbal warning when we do that, because I know some people just aren't going to want to see that beforehand. So I just want to be respectful to those of you who do not want to see Mysterio at this point and want to experience Mysterio for the first time with your hands on the game. But first, we are going to be talking about some new traversal gameplay. There's obviously no spoilers involved with the traversal mechanics or with just general open world gameplay here, so I'm totally comfortable showing this gameplay to all of you. And Nick, how cool does some of this traversal gameplay look?
Yeah, Andreas, it looks incredibly cool. One of the big things that I was looking forward to out of all of these reviews dropping on Monday was a look at some brand new open world gameplay and the traversal, just an extended look at it, because I think one of the big things that we wanted to see going into Marvel Spider-Man 2, one of the big step forwards or improvements we wanted to see out of Insomniac was just taking that next step with the overall traversal in their Spider-Man games, making it faster, making it smoother. And it looks like from the gameplay that we got to see today, that is exactly what Insomniac has accomplished. Honestly, if you just take a look at most of the reviews we've gotten for Marvel Spider-Man 2, it looks like it's living up to the hype. Insomniac has taken that next step. They've taken it to the next level. They have fully delivered on what we knew they could deliver on. But what I want to talk about is this footage that came out of GameSpot, out of their review, where we finally get to see our first official look at the corner tether mechanic in Marvel Spider-Man 2. We knew that this was going to be a brand new mechanic to the traversal system in this game, but we had never gotten to actually see it. And I gotta say, it looks incredible. It looks so useful. It really speeds up the overall flow of the traversal in this game, and it just does those little things that we were really hoping to see out of this game. And I mean, if you guys just take a look through this footage and how he's able to combine all these moves with the corner tether and the faster web swinging and the web wings, I mean, traversal just looks a billion times faster. It looks like it's so much more fun to do. It looks so much smoother. I'm so excited that they added this mechanic to this game. And Andres, it looks awesome. I really love the addition of this corner tether, and I'm really excited that we actually finally got to officially see it in gameplay, because it was one of the big things that I was really wanting to see out of all of these reviews dropping.
You know what, Nick? This is really something that I have really been looking forward to getting my hands on, because we've kind of seen generally how the traversal is going to look in this game. From what it looks like, we're all looking at this together, having not played it, and it looks fast. Like, that is the one word that I'd use to describe it. It looks fast, it looks smooth, it looks like we are going to be cutting through these street corners, these tight corners in New York, and I'm very excited to actually get my hands on the controller and feel how it is, and also maybe the learning curve, if there is any learning curve, because I'm just hearing so many people hype up the traversal in this game that I just can't wait to actually feel how it feels in the hand. So I'm just really excited to take a look. And on that note, I'd love to hear what all of you think about this new tether system, because the corner tether mechanic looks like one that's a real problem solver. When you think about the web wings, you have a problem of how do you maintain momentum using those web wings around tight corners. And I think this corner tether system and mechanic looks just like a perfect solution to that problem.
Yeah, it really does. And, one of the great things that we also got to see out of all of these reviews is we got to see some of the other mechanics that will be included in the traversal. We got to see another look at the slingshot mechanic, which we saw in the official gameplay reveal trailer, but we actually got to see Peter do it this time, and he has this like little runway thing going on. It's really cool, but the big takeaway from this is just look how much faster you can get around traversing web swinging through the streets of New York City. This is a big city you're going to have to get through, and Insomniac has really taken those big steps to make it more fun, to make it faster, to make it easier to get around. Like, that really feels like it was a point of emphasis for Insomniac going into this game. And not only that, we have seen the fast travel mechanic. We saw it in the State of Play trailer, but we also got another look at it earlier today, and it just, again, showcases how incredible Insomniac is at taking advantage of the technology of the PlayStation 5. Just another one of those instances where you can just be wherever you want to be in New York City, pick a place on the map, and you can just instantly go to it. It is honestly mind-blowing what Insomniac has been able to pull off when it comes to the open world gameplay and traversal of Spider-Man 2, because when you think about a Spider-Man game, the open world traversal, the web swinging, the traversal, just stuff like that, makes up one of the major components of the game. It might be honestly one of the most important components when you think of all superhero games. Like, when you're thinking about web swinging and traversal, you got to get that right in a Spider-Man game. Like, you can't get that wrong. Other games you could get travel wrong because it's not the point of emphasis for that game. But knowing what we know about the nature of what Spider-Man is as a hero, this is the kind of stuff that you have to nail. You got to get this right. It's foundational stuff. And this gameplay that we've gotten out of these reviews has proven that Insomniac just got it right. They killed this. We don't know for sure what the story is going to be like. It sounds like it's going to be phenomenal. But what we do know from this new gameplay that we've gotten today is they have nailed this component of this story. So that is incredibly exciting.
That it is, Nick. And at this point, I think this is a great time to kind of shift gears onto the next component of our discussion. And with that, I'd also like to issue the official warning to those of you who do not want to see what Mysterio looks like in the game. This is your warning. Click off the video now. It's just no excuse to be yelling at us in the comments later on. You've been properly warned by now at this point. Nick, here he is. This is Mysterio. What do you think?
I really honestly love the look of Mysterio in this game. I was reading through some of the comments just to see what the general temperature was of this design, and it was kind of 50-50, and I was really surprised to see that. People were wanting a more comic book accurate look, but to be honest, I don't think it's that far off. This just looks like another instance of Insomniac putting their own spin on the design of a real, well-known legacy character. I really like it. We see that scarf. We see, the metal components. I like the addition of the skull in the glass fishbowl helmet. I think he looks really good. What do you think, Andres? I really like the design. I have no complaints.
From the look alone, of course, we're looking at a limited sample here. This is admittedly the only shot of this that I have seen. I think I might have seen like one other shot, but like a very similar angle of what he looks like. And from this angle, it looks like something that I'm down for. It honestly, it's got all of the trademarks of a Mysterio appearance that you would want. Of course, like you said, Nick, it's got that special Insomniac twist on it. But again, the skull in the fishbowl is not something new. It's something that we've seen before. We've seen it in different animated medium. We've seen it in the Web of Shadows concept art. This is something that has been played with before. It's not brand new. It's kind of like a freshened up appearance of Mysterio that's a bit different from recent iterations. I'm thinking mainly of like the Far From Home iteration, which I know, Nick, that's one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, it really is. And what I really like about Insomniac's version of this character is when I saw this picture, it wasn't like, oh, who is that? Like, it's clearly Mysterio. Like, they've captured the essence of the character's design. And I gotta say, that was another one of the big questions I had about, like, character-specific details going into this game, was just like, what was Mysterio actually going to look like? Because we had only seen him as his, like, Quentin Beck form. We hadn't actually seen him in the suit. And I was incredibly intrigued to see what they were going to do with it. And I'm not disappointed because it captures the essence of the character, but it adds that fresh Insomniac twist where they're making it their own. I really like this character design. I have no problems with it. Honestly, it confused me why people have problems with it. If you guys watching this video, if you have a problem with the design, let us know down below in the comments what your problem is with it. I'm genuinely curious to see what people have to say about it. I know it's not 100% comic book accurate, but I mean, it's close enough. At least for me, I think it's close enough. It's clearly Mysterio, captures the essence, all in that. But Andres, what I want to talk about actually about this picture is I think this picture actually confirms some of the theories that we had been talking about in our launch trailer breakdown when you just take a look at the overall environment around Mysterio.
Yeah, it does, Nick, because we were talking about that green tinge around the screen in that shot of Miles Morales looking at the cafe, and he was looking at what appeared to be Rio with a mysterious person. Some people have speculated that that person is Mysterio himself. Some people have speculated that it could be Martin Lee, but nonetheless, it was a trippy situation because we saw the bubbles floating around, kind of like we're seeing with this shot of Mysterio. And when we looked at that trailer, our knee-jerk reaction was this looked like Mysterio was messing with Miles. And this picture here really goes to reaffirm that, just given the similar green tinge, the bubbles that are floating around. And so I think it's pretty safe to assume at this point that that shot that we saw in the launch trailer is clearly Miles being under the influence of some spell cast by Mysterio or some Mysterio special effects, or however he's going to be carrying out his powers in this game.
Yeah, it definitely is. I saw a lot of people speculating from that sequence of the launch trailer. They thought it was, Martin Lee playing mind games this time with Miles. But I always thought it was going to be Mysterio because of that green tinge. And here, that is exactly what we're seeing. And if you take a look at the environment around him, they're clearly in an illusion. You have broken pieces of the ground and different components of a building floating in the background. They're clearly not in a normal capacity. And the other thing that really tells me that our theory from the launch trailer is actually what's going on is the fact that it is Miles Morales doing battle with Mysterio. It's not Peter, it is Miles. So we know that Miles is going to face off with Mysterio at some point. So I'm just interested to see why Miles is one of the main ones taking on Mysterio, how involved Peter is going to be, and how he knows so much about Miles, where he's able to play those mind games with him, where he's able to show his mom on a date with somebody. Clearly that's going to bother Miles given everything that has transpired. I'm just, I'd like to see how their relationship develops throughout the course of this game and kind of what causes all of this to happen. Now, one little fun aside, I know, Andres, you noticed this when we were taking a look at this picture, but we might as well just get this out of the way. There's a pumpkin in the shot, and I know you wanted to talk about it.
Oh yeah, guys, this means that Jack-O-Lantern is confirmed to be in Spider-Man 2. And it could not be the Jack-O-Lantern, but at least a Jack-O-Lantern is going to be in this game, which, I mean, it's something. It's something, right? And on that note, Nick, maybe that's the final question we can pose for the comments down below is, do you guys think that Jack-O-Lantern will end up in this game? I know that's something that we thought about, just given that this game is releasing around Halloween time. This is a character, this is a villain that I think we speculated would be in the game, or it would be a likely character to feature in the game given the release window on October 20th. It just made sense. So who knows? Maybe I'm just grasping at straws here, but we've been right about crazier things in the past.
Yeah, I will say, man, there's a lot of villains now in this game between Mysterio, Sandman, Venom, Lizard, Kraven. We're dealing with a lot. Martin Lee is returning. There's a ton of villains we're going to be getting through. So I don't know if they have the time or capacity for Jack-O-Lantern, but it would make a ton of sense given, like you said, the release window of this game being just 11 days before Halloween. It would be a cool, villain of the week type edition. So guys, let us know down below. Do you think there will be any other villains such as a Jack-O-Lantern making their way into this game? What do you think of the new open world traversal gameplay that we got to take a look at? The corner tether, all of that stuff, the slingshot, and let us know what you think of Mysterio's look in this game. Personally, I really love it, but I'm interested to see what the general consensus of you guys is down below in the comments. So definitely let us know your thoughts. And guys, we're only a few days away. We're going to get our hands on this very soon. This weekend is going to absolutely slap. We cannot wait. But that is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we will see you all next time.